I literally got this from Chris. He had a cage side, sent it to me. I put it out into do a little quick edit, draw some stuff on it, send it back to Mallory, and we can put it right in the stream, which is really cool. A lot of really neat little things here. She's a Taekwondo 7th degree, black belt, but her hands look really cool, how relaxed she is throwing them. So go ahead. You'll see simple punch, Pink, right there. It's a nice one, though. Like, she's committed. Nice, a lot of hit. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you'll see it when we see just the timing is really nice, but there's a bunch of things on it that's really cool. One is she throws it when the leg is in the air. So the kick is there, and she's a kicker, so she senses it, lines it up right here, touch, and there's from the hip, just committed, Pink. And that's the end. You just see her commit. But the commitment from the hip and from the ground comes from Taekwondo. But again, you see the measurement. Now you're going to see this, but check this out. And this is just a little detail. We asked Duke about it earlier tonight. But right there. See the knuckles down?
Rotation, yeah. Turnover.
Pinky up. So you two guys, pause it right there.
Gotcha.
Okay. You two guys are high-level fighters. Why are we turning our pinky up to throw that? AJ, you first.
Well, you want to turn the punch over. That's where the knockout power is.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom. And you get the hip
snap at the end. That last little vibration. You can have the punch be right here. The second you do that, that's where all the power is. Little snap.
Funny, Duke Rufus was on earlier, and he said, you know, when you get kids breaking boards, it's not just for show. It's to teach them that little snap.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, can you rewind just a touch, Mallory? Is that something you can do or no?
That's 10 seconds.
Yeah, so just roll it. Yeah, roll it. You see from the hip. So look at the right hip as she throws. Look how deep the hip is. And then freeze when it comes close. Like, let that close right up. Look at the elastic nature, too. And then go out a little bit, roll it, and right there. Look at the elbow. That's a pitch, right? That's a fucking fastball pitch. When you see a pitcher, you see that relaxed whip. Mm-hmm. So one, she turns it. Two, she whips it like a towel. Right. And so I've done a bunch of work with a Dr. Stu McGill, who's a professor of spine mechanics. And Dr. Stu talks.
Got several of his books.
Yeah, I do. You back mechanic.
Physical therapy, yeah.
He's a physical therapist, no?
Dr. Stu's a friend. I'll introduce you to him, Ross. You'll really like him. He's a brilliant man. So Dr. Stu talks about the double pulse neurology, which is you pulse, then you relax, and then you pulse, and you see that in most elite athletes. You fire, you relax, and then you tighten again, and it's a balance of mobility and stability at the moment those knuckles turn. So she literally threw a fucking fastball. Isn't that cool?
That's dope.
Yeah, that's dope. That's the kind of shit I nerd out over. So roll it, Mallory. Like, how cool. And I was able to just get this and just play with it right there, spot those things and share them with my friends in real time. It's so cool. And you see the finishes. One more thing to look at that I think is really cool, which is, again, part of it. Look at this.
Off that jab.
Off the jab, right? That's beautiful. But that is a fucking fastball pitch. So, so we're paused there. Normally, we would say you drive the ball of the foot, the back foot, the right foot into the mat. But when you're whipping with this sort of neurological whip, which is what Dr. Stu calls it, you can let the back leg come because it's from the left foot through the right knuckles, joined through the leg, connected through, what do they call it? What do you call it, Ross, where the something chain? Kinetic chain. So the kinetic chain goes from the earth through the foot, up the back, connects contralaterally from left hip to right shoulder, and then the whip out the knuckles. So Ross is what are you, Ross? What are you, you're a physical therapist?
Dr. Physical Therapy, yes, sir.
So when you look at this and you hear the nonsense that I'm saying, what do you take from it?
It makes total sense, because when you talk about pitchers, if you know how hard a pitcher can throw by looking at their ass, right? Big glutes, big strong hips. It's going to develop, and it's usually crossed. So when I get pitchers, especially like youth pitchers, if they hurt their right arm, the first thing we evaluate, obviously their shoulder, but their left hip, because that's their driving force. So if you look how she's sitting into her left hip, and her right hip is already turned through. So even if Mallory, if you back that up, I'll do my little bank adjustment with it. But yeah, her right hip turned all the way through, and it was just, think about like a lead ball on a chain whip for her hand. You know, the body mechanics were already complete. You know, the arm was just finishing the movement.
Yep.
So her hip starts turning over before her hand even leaves the chamber. Right, you'll see her right hip turn over. It was the punch was secondary.
So can I throw something in on that?
Oh, yes.
Yes, please.
In my own personal experience. So she anticipated that lead leg kick. So her check on that lead leg kick is actually what made her kind of plant out to base for that overhand right. A lot of people, they'll throw that kick and it'll help. You'll use that momentum to help you kind of plant so you can create that angle and throw that overhand right. And that's pretty much exactly what she did.
Yeah, and when you put all those things together, the kick helps her plant the foot. The left hand touches the chin to measure. That double pulse neurology with the kinetic chain up the foot all the way out, relaxed, whipping the towel out the knuckles and then roll it. Look what happens. Look what happens.
Bink.
Bink.
I think it goes like bink.
Yeah, I think it goes like bink, and then watch what the result.
Just that shutdown.
I mean, seriously, right? And that's 115 or 25 pound, 23-year-old female. Now a lifetime martial artist, dancer, 7th degree black belt in Taekwondo. All of that comes together. What we didn't do on a modern level is take her to a boxing gym. Although, of course, she's hit mitts with, and studied the elements of boxing. What we did do was take what her body has done its whole life and just add tools and weapons to it. Badass.